CJGJ gone. But let's get to our word of the day. The word of the day today is balance. Balance, because I'm in a jam right now with the Eagles. Now, on the one hand, Howie Roseman has proven to be a tremendous GM. On the other hand, now, on defense especially, well, defense period, there are numerous issues. So let's get to the trade in case you missed it. Apparently, it was a cost-cutting move in order to be able to sign guys long-term, to keep the core of the team together. Apparently, CJGJ was not a part of the core. He goes to the Texans, along with a 2026 sixth-round pick goes to the Texans. The Texans then send to the Eagles former first-round pick Kenyon Green, who has underachieved so far in his young career, and a pick swap in 2026 in the fifth round. So whoever has a better fifth-rounder, the Eagles will get that particular pick in 2026. They sent a sixth-rounder and CJGJ to the Texans, and they get guard Kenyon Green. And I'm trying to have this balance because on the one hand, we named all the players that the Eagles could not afford to lose, and so far they haven't lost any of those players. But they also don't necessarily have the right replacements for the guys that they lost as well. So this isn't really about a panic, as some people say. It's about holding Howie Roseman accountable, because if you just look at who started in the Super Bowl, Milton Williams, Sweat, even Orrin Burks, Slay, and now by choice, CJGJ, all gone. And I know some fans, if I even meet fans where they are, and I say, sure, Jalix Hunt's now ready to start in the NFL. I don't know if I believe it, but let's say I just go there. Boom. A Jomo, they're not going to miss a beat, and they'll be fine at tackle. Okay, fine. Trotter Jr., because remember, Nakobe Dean's not going to be ready for week 1. So if you want to tell me that Trotter Jr. is ready to start, okay. Keely Ringo's ready to start, all right. And now with CJGJ, I'm going with McCollum and Sidney Brown, and apparently, according to Dave Zangaro and John Clark, they believe it's going to be Sidney Brown. Okay. And then with Mekhi Becton, still up in the air, we'll see. Don't tell me I'm to believe that Stoutland University is going to turn Kenyon Green around, because at some point it can't solely be about just Stoutland U. It has to also be about the player too, because if it's only about Stoutland U, why not just have Steen here? So I'm just trying to have a balanced view of it, where I'm not panicking. There's no reason to panic. It's March 11th. But we've seen how we blow an offseason after a Super Bowl before, where he cuts things down so much that he's not able to recover. And I'm saying now I'm to believe that the defense that was just number 1 can just swap out Sidney Brown, Trotter Jr., Keely Ringo, Jalix Hunt, and a Jomo, and not miss a beat. And maybe that's the case. But I would prefer some veterans to be brought in here, a trade or two. We thought when we said a trade, they would add. They used a trade to subtract. And there's still questions about the offensive line, because I'm telling you, so far in his career, Kenyon Green has not been good. It's just, Ricky, I'm trying to be balanced about this. It's tough.
It's hard to be balanced when everything's going in the favor of the league, not necessarily your team right now, especially the defense. I mean, you've basically lost 5 starters on defense. What are you going to do to piece those holes together? We left here yesterday afternoon thinking it's 4 holes, and now all of a sudden we got to get more soil. We got to get more everything to kind of feed that back. I don't know what. It's kind of an odd direction of what's happening here. I understand you want to be as young as possible, but I mean, CJ, GJ, and Slay, I mean, both in one swoop. What were you trying to tell them, that all the younger guys are that much better than them? Maybe, I don't know. I just don't like it. I like the mix that they had last year. I like that these guys supposedly gelled together. That's what we heard about this defense is that, well, it's going to take them some time to gel together. Once they do, you'll see it. By week 6 last year, we saw a defense that was gelling, that was playing good football together, and then they gelled into the number one defense in the league. And then you go out and get a starting guard that hasn't really played very well out in Texas.
I don't think, based on how he's played, he won't start.
He's not.
He'll be behind Steve.
He's going to be behind Steve.
He'll have to be better to start.
So I mean, but even now, even if you have those fill-ins on defense, as you were talking about, now you're short on depth. Everybody has injuries. You start going into a season short on depth. I think that even hurts you even more. We saw that especially with the Eagles' offensive line this year. We saw it with the defensive line this year. It's just one of those things where are you going to get that depth? I mean, when is Howie going to start moving? I know it's only been a day and a half, whatever you want to call it. But you know what you have to do? You kind of got to jump back on that horse at some point. I know, you traded your backup quarterback. You know what that did for all of us? Nothing. It really did nothing. And to me, that just makes McKee your backup quarterback for the Eagles, and that's it. But you got to start filling some of these spots, whether it be older players with smaller contracts. I mean, you're going to do something here very quickly.
610-632-0975. Word of the day, balance. What we're trying to do is not be doom and gloom today. Not be doom and gloom, but we have to look at where we are so far with this offseason and then wonder what the plan is for Howie Roseman to replace some of these guys on short-term deals. I guess, are they just going to go in-house and we're supposed to just blindly trust? We asked about blind faith yesterday. The majority of fans said I had blind faith in Howie Roseman. Was that smart after the CJ-GJ deal, or do you still have that blind faith?
Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want more of this content, make sure you like and subscribe. And you can do that kind of over here if you want more of the best show ever.